1 and 2. We can't call them 1 and 2, Grace said. Those aren't proper names for a miracle. Maybe not, Wolf said, but the numbers will help us keep track of which one hatched first. And we don't know their sex. We can't give them proper names until after we figure that out. They were all crowded around the incubator, unable to take their eyes off the baby dinosaurs. The hatchlings were miniature of the adult mocomims, with the same smooth, dark, purplish skin, long tails, snake-like necks, alert golden eyes, and rows of tiny, sharp, white teeth in their mouths. I think we can call them Marty and Grace, Laura suggested. After all, they're the ones who found the eggs. But which is which? Wolf said. We can call the first one Marty, Grace said. He's older than me. He looked at Marty, at least chronologically. Very funny, Marty said, but I see what Wolf means. They're virtually identical, except one has a dark spot on its head and 2 doesn't have. They could be a boy and a girl, 2 girls, or 2 boys. I think Luther's a good name, Luther said. If they're both girls, we can call one Luther and one Grace, Marty said. You're hilarious, Luther said. I guess 1 and 2 are fine for now, Grace said. Then that's decided, Wolf announced. We'll wait to name them later. They look hungry, Grace said. What are we going to feed them? Well, they're probably still absorbing nutrients from the egg sac, Wolf said. But yes, I think we should try to feed them. The question is what? Are they carnivores, herbivores, or omnivores like humans, eating a little bit of both? Another question is, are dinosaurs birds, reptiles, mammals, or a combination? If they're reptiles, they would forage for food on their own. If they're more like birds, like their mother would feed them regurgitated food. That woman, Anna, might be good for that, Marty said, deciding he'd keep the disposable booties on until he washed his sneakers. Or maybe Luther could help, Grace suggested. He had a lot of practice on this voyage. I liked you better when you were Marty's twin sister, Luther said. Wolf ignored the banter. If they're mammals, their mother would feed them milk, which means we would have to come up with a formula and bottle or tube feed them. I've developed 3 feeding regimens. We'll try them all and see which one they respond to. But before we get to that, I need to lay out the husbandry routine, which everyone needs to absolutely adhere to without exception. As I've already mentioned, we need to maintain a strict, sterile environment. If any of you aren't feeling well, sore, throat, cough, temperature, we'll take you out of the care rotation until you feel better. We can't risk cross-contamination. The hatchlings look alert and healthy, but that can change in an instant if they contact a virus. I can't emphasize this enough. When we're in here, you need to pretend that you're doing open heart surgery until we determine the cross-contamination factor. There was a different tone in Wolf's voice and manner. He was clearly excited, but at the same time, dead serious. Even Luther was paying attention. All of us have risked our lives for these 2, and I would hate to lose one because someone sneezed without a mask on. He locked his eyes on each of them in turn, then said, I guess it's time to crack the incubator open and find out what dinosaurs eat for breakfast. He pushed a button on the front of the incubator, and the top slid back. The hatchlings looked up through the opening, their eager golden eyes. Butchumclaw sat on his sleeping bag, leaning against the cold metal wall of his container. He scrapped the can he was eating from the last spoonful of pork and beans. He wished his old dog Dirk was with him. It was time to go hunting.